late rally from Ole Miss. Murray Boyles and Cisse jump, and Ole Miss controls the opening tip. Juju Murray with the ball, gets it to Matthew Morrell. Near turnover for Ole Miss. Rebels able to save the possession. This is a good South Carolina defense that gives up a lob and a dunk to start things off.
And we will see a lot of that high pick and roll. Great job by Murray, understands. Saw B.J. Mack come up for the help, throw it as high as you want. Cisse's going to catch it. Good
to see Meechie Johnson back in the lineup. That one was blocked on the perimeter. He took an elbow to the head last Saturday in the second half against LSU. Went through concussion protocol, returned to practice on Thursday, and he is with the team today. You see the starting five for Ole Miss. Musa Cisse already with a bucket. David Brakefield. Shot clock at 5. Juju Murray trying to find some space. Pushes it up, spins off. Offensive rebound for Cisse and reverses it up and in.
He started active today. Musa Cisse already has 2 buckets and a blocked shot.
He had only 2 points against South Carolina in the first meeting. B.J. Mack. Zachary Davis working against Morrell.
Their walkthrough last night, watch a little game film with them, and it's a turnover ratio, so they're going to use most of their shot clock. So you got to be prepared, Ole Miss, to defend for a full 30 seconds each time down the floor, and then finish it off with a defensive rebound.
Zachary Davis, the sophomore from Orangeburg, South Carolina, with a couple of free throw makes. Here's Alan Flanagan, who had a big game against South Carolina. It was the mid-range game that was so big. He did that a bunch in the first meeting. Comes up empty there.
Yeah, he made a bunch of tough twos, and South Carolina's defense is very good. Stay in front of the basketball, force you to take those contested two-pointers.
Talon Cooper was looking to the inside. Meechie Johnson guarded loosely by Flanagan. Tries to spin his way in. B.J. Mack stretches the range. It spins out. Offensive rebound and a putback for Zachary Davis. He's got all 4 for the Gamecocks.
That's one way, if you can win the glass game. If you're South Carolina, you can win the glass game. Get yourself a couple extra possessions on the offensive rebound in the conference.
Early on, Murray has been guarded very tightly by Talon Cooper. Here's Murray out front, a little bit of space. Cooper picks him up on the perimeter. Finds Brakefield on the opposite side. Brakefield to the elbow, dumps it off to Flanagan. Shot clock at 1, forces it up, grazed the rim, and South Carolina clears it.
South Carolina can get something early in transition. They'll try to do that. If not, they're going to take their time, like to post up B.J. Mack.
We've seen this South Carolina team a few times, and one of the things that Lamont Paris has continued to talk about with us is the quality of the shots that they get, and that comes with patience on the offensive end.
And he brought in some good decision makers, too. He brought in guys that are going to be patient, make the extra pass, and you add up all those things, and you're going to get a good shot every time down the floor, which is part of my road recipe, by the way. To winning on the road, you got to be patient, get high-quality shots.
Cisse bump puts together a really good squad this year.
Yeah, he's...
As Juju Murray will go to the bench for the first time. Second free throw for Cisse. Missed them both, but an offensive rebound for Jamin Brakefield. He's picked up by Gray on the perimeter. Brakefield drives, dumps it off down low. That's a tough pass to Cisse. Now South Carolina in transition. Cassell as the officials today.
In this game.
It's an 8-0 run for South Carolina after falling behind 4-0. They've scored 8 straight. And the Gamecocks have a 4-point lead. South Carolina, this was their week with an open date. Murray with the floater. 11 conference wins, but only 19 overall.
Right, and then you look at the quality of wins, though, and that's going to be the most important thing. You see Ole Miss switching some things up here, a little hesitant. When you see that press, you've got to attack it. Should have been 2 points on the other end if they could have.
Stephen Clark has come in for South Carolina. That transfer from the Citadel. Here's Brandon Murray from the elbow.
You'll see a lot of that high ball screens with Ole Miss wanting to get the bigs of South Carolina in the pick and roll.
Wow.
To the NCAA tournament, back into it. Though, that's the kind of effort that you want to see for a team fighting to get back in it. Early on, that high pick and roll there in the middle of the floor worked for Ole Miss. Got Cisse a couple of dunks.
TJ Caldwell
At 39% right now. Style of play lends to playing well on the road. They typically take care of the basketball. From a defensive standpoint, they don't gamble, right? They don't gamble, get out of position for a lot of steals and those types of things. So you'll see Ole Miss really have to work their offense to get a good look.
Pressure again from the Rebels. South Carolina gets it ahead to Michi Johnson. Here's Jacoby Wright into the lane. Kicks it out. Extra pass. 3 on the way from Johnson. It's good. Just off a straight-on 3, and Michi Johnson knocks out the triple.
Yeah, and that was that extra pass. You called it. They're always looking, of course, Michi Johnson, their best shooter, so they're going to make sure they know where he is at all times.
Really tried to deny the ball to Juju Murray. Here's Alan Flanagan, guarded by Johnson. Oh, tough contested shot by Flanagan. Cisse nearly had another offensive rebound. Couldn't squeeze it. Ole Miss started 2 of 3 from the field. They've missed their last 6 shots.
Oh, there you go. They get a couple of them.
I mean, he's 5 inches taller than Cisse. Good year for Josh Gray in terms of numbers. You know what he's capable? Colin Murray Boyles, both with 2 fouls with just under 14 to play in the first half.
Well, and the one thing that South Carolina doesn't have a lot of is that interior size. You know, Josh Gray comes in as a 7-footer and block shots, defensive rebound. Outside of him, Colin Murray Boyles also a shot blocker. Not much more athleticism or size, but really good. You know, you look at Talon Cooper at 6'4" point guard, so he brings some size from that position.
Since the first 2 buckets from Cisse, has Ole Miss had an open look in the game for South Carolina, playing with 2 fouls. One of the 5 starters in the game right now for South Carolina. You've also got Jacoby Wright on the floor. Caldwell contested, 19-footer won't go. This has missed 7 straight shots. Colin Murray Boyles just muscles his way inside and gets it off the glass. The Gamecocks now lead it by 7.
Well, what you love from that move is he got good position early, and then he caught it, didn't waste any time, spin move, used that strength and explosiveness right to the rim.
Murray guarded by Cooper, contested again. Every shot Ole Miss is taking is with a hand in their face. Rebels have gone almost 6.5 minutes without a made field goal. This may be their best offense getting out in transition. Caldwell
is not how you want to get your 3rd foul.
Coaches have different philosophies about leaving guys on the floor with 2 fouls. Sometimes it's about trust. This one tipped out by Sharp. Brandon Murray 3 on the way, missed everything. All it hit was the backboard.
Well, that's 4 offensive rebounds. It's something I think Ole Miss may be able to take advantage of, is get in the offensive glass. Try to get you extra possessions.
Another block there for Ole Miss. Ahead to Flanagan, lays it off the glass and in. Ole Miss, one of the better fast break teams in the SEC, averaging just over 12 fast break points per game. And we asked Chris Beard about that, and he said they got to miss some shots.
Right, exactly. They do. And listen, they play with a slower pace, okay? And it's not that they take the air out of the ball or anything. They just are under control, patient.
Michi Johnson tried the 3 over Sharp. And Ole Miss trying to get something in transit. Some contact on Matthew Morrell, taking a 3 with the clock winding down inside 5 seconds. That some people that wear red and blue thought should have resulted in
shot blockers they have. So we talk about high percentage shots, free throws, layups, and open jumpers. So a lot of positives if you can get to that rim for Ole Miss.
Ole Miss 5th in the SEC in free throw shooting, 74.8%, and they are in the bonus now with 11 minutes to go in the first half. In this game, Ole Miss has 3 made field goals and 4 made free throws for their 10 points.
Well, it's not going to be easy. Nothing's easy against South Carolina's defense. You just got to stay dedicated to what it is you're trying to do, and that's attack.
Kobe Wright, 3 on the way. Won't go. Flanagan with the rebound. He tries to push it. Lobs it ahead, and Cisse went way up. Pass led him just a little too much.
He did. Big fella was pumping his knees. Looked like Usain Bolt running up the floor there. Great. You like that advanced pass, though, by Allen Flanagan. You got to make that pass.
Strip. Don't know if you give that a steal or a block for T.J. Caldwell, but he took it away from Kobe Wright down low. Brakefield working against Davis. Drives in, turns around. He's on the bench. Zachary Davis has 2. Jacoby Wright has 2.
Previous possession, Jacoby Wright might have jumped up and came down with it, but there was no call.
David Brakefield has entered the 1,000-point club.
Very exclusive club.
Jacoby Wright off the skip pass, gets it out to Mack. Now out front to Taquan Cooper. Cooper went right by Nunez, then he turns into Gumby. Just kind of contorted his body to get away from Cisse and get the bucket.
I mean, not a lot of players are going to be able to finish that.
Flanagan from the free throw line gets it to fall.
And that's where Al was money in their first meeting, getting right to that SEC logo area, and he's so athletic and strong, he can rise up against any defender.
Did we just see shots go in on both floors? Consecutive possessions?
Things are going to loosen up a little bit, Rich. You know that.
DJ Mack hands it off to Wright, curling off the screen. Some contact, does not get a whistle. He does get the bucket. Lamont Paris absolutely thought that was a foul. Flanagan on the drive. He thought probably should have been a foul there. And a timeout taken by South Carolina.
He's just gone off. They've had multiple guys have big games. It's just been the consistency that they've been lacking.
Arkansas now with back-to-back SEC wins for the first time this season. Got one on the road in the midweek against Texas A&M. Went at home today against Mizzou. DJ Mack.
You see that South Carolina offense. They got 5 guys outside. Nobody in the paint clogging it up.
Juju Murray with a steal. Pick that pass off. Flanagan attacks and finishes with the left hand. Just shy of the rim to make it a 2-point game.
Every time he touches it, he better be looking to attack that paint, because there's nobody that's going to stop him to get to that rim. It's just about him finishing.
Michi Johnson on the drive. He overshot the rim. Again, Flanagan pushing it. This time lays it off for Murray, looking for a 3. Does not get the roll, and South Carolina digs it out.
You got 3 guys for Ole Miss hitting that offensive glass. Got a finger on it, just weren't able to pull it in. That's
DJ Mack, open 3, dead center.
In their offense, in South Carolina's offense, they move the ball so well, but 5 guys are also moving. DJ Mack is going to be the key, because he's going to find himself open at that 3-point line.
Brakefield lost the handle, got it back, and got it up off the glass for a bucket. Three points now for Jamin Brakefield. From the corner, how about a 3 for Talon Cooper? He shoots 44% from behind the arc. Pretty selective when he takes them. That's his 41st made 3 of the year. Cisse off the wraparound pass. What a feed by Murray.
Excellent middle ball screen again. Juju Murray keeps his dribble alive. He knows they're going to try to take away. Me scoring to the rim or fall back on Cisse. Made the correct decision.
Morris Ugasuk is in the game for South Carolina. Here's Cooper on the drive.
He's back, And my goodness, he has taken on a role. Not only does he score, but he facilitates, playing the best defense of his career.
Pretty entertaining game at Rupp this afternoon with Alabama in Lexington to take on Kentucky Wildcats. Michi Johnson gives it away. Tested three won't go. It's tipped around, and Ole Miss will get it. Flanagan gives it off to Brakefield.
That was good. He caught it, and he knew he was going to try to attack that gap right there. Another high middle ball screen.
Ole Miss has not made a shot outside the paint in this game. You had the one kind of mid-range jumper from Flanagan. This one blocked.
He got the message from Coach Beard. We're going to attack, fellas, all night long.
Murray gets it into Brakefield. He'll let it fly from three. Won't go. Murray nearly had the rebound. Fighting there for it, but couldn't hold on.
Well, a man climbed the ladder on Josh Gray up there. But yeah, so Ole Miss, a really good three-point shooting team, number 2 in the SEC at 38%. Don't take a whole bunch of them. But Matt Morrell is their primary three-point shooter. With him with foul trouble, going to get as many up.
Peachy 10 points per game in SEC play before transferring to South Carolina last season. Six-point lead for the Gamecocks, one off their biggest in the game. Flanagan left it short. Stephen Clark pulls down the rebound. Five minutes left in the opening half. South Carolina leading by 6. Davis working on Flanagan, spins, tries to dump it off to Gray, tipped around, ends up back in the hands of Gray, and he goes up for the reverse lay-in.
Incredible interior pass in there. Zachary Davis he averages about 4 points a game. He's already got 6, and he's been extremely active on both ends.
Murray on the downhill drive, trying to float it over Gray. Touched last by Brakefield. South Carolina's got it headed the other way.
Right there, good tip pass, another good pass by Clark. Good finish by Josh Gray.
Buccaneers, South Carolina makes it a double-digit lead. Up 27-19, closing in on 4 minutes to go in the first half. Gamecocks coming off back-to-back losses for the first time this season. They've had a week to get ready for this game.
That's what makes one of the things that makes South Carolina's offense so tough to defend.
Johnson on the drive, tipped around, and a foul with .1
scorer. So don't forget he's been on the comes back in the game.
That foul was on TJ Caldwell. Zachary Davis makes 1 of 2 at the line. The lead for the Gamecocks is 9. Ole Miss has had multiple 3-minute scoring droughts in the first half. They've hit just 7 of 26 shots and are 0 of 3 from behind the arc. Brakefield trying to get to a soft spot in the middle of the lane, and then he shot it too strong, and Gray pulls down the rebound.
That's a look you want right there in the paint. 4 or 5 footer.
So you're supposed to make that, though,
that's the idea. That's the idea. Zachary Davis having a heck of a game. He's a great cutter, right? So you'll see him a lot of times on the weak side, cut to the basket, and they're good at finding him. But today he's been doing it with the ball in his hands.
Today was the 12th straight start for Zachary Davis after coming off the bench for the first half of the season. His season high is 12 points. Caldwell off the back iron. Another one-and-done trip for Ole Miss as Jacoby Wright gets the rebound on the offside.
And early in the half, we saw Ole Miss hitting that offensive glass. And because of the style that South Carolina plays, you're not going to get as many possessions in the game as you normally would. So you've got to try to create possessions.
Ole Miss able to come up with a steal.
And get out and run here before that defense sets.
Caldwell got the steal, but it was really created by Brandon Murray. That's a tough pass into the back in the game for South Carolina.
And with Miles Studi out, that Davis injury, hopefully he can get back in. They're already down one man.
Flanagan and Cisse just came back in for Ole Miss. Matthew Morrell getting set to check in with 2 fouls with about 2 minutes left in the half. It's an 11-point lead for the Gamecocks, their biggest. Talon Cooper working against Nunez.
Knows he's got a shot blocker behind him.
Ole Miss gets a steal as Morrell comes back into the game. Juju Murray pulls up for 3 in transition. Too strong. Ole Miss now 0 of 4 from behind the arc. Stephen Clark trying to post down low against Murray, but they couldn't get it to him. Minute and a half to play.
There's that switch that they wanted.
Shot clock won't go, but a long rebound for South Carolina. Michi Johnson into the corner, open 3. Jacoby Wright buries it for the Gamecocks.
How often have we seen a 3 off of an offensive rebound? That time South Carolina did a good job as Ole Miss defense is scrambling to get back to the guy. Move the ball quick for an open J. A
10-0 run for South Carolina over the last 4 minutes and 10 seconds. Jamin Brakefield, SEC play. It has been a struggle for him at the free throw. And a lane violation. Somebody stepped into the paint.
Trying to get a little bit of advantage if that thing did come off the rim.
Cooper guarded tightly by Brakefield. 3 on the way, and that 3 is good for Morris Ugasuk.
You know, they've got guys that can go one-on-one, Michi Johnson, B.J. Mack, but they also got guys that can hit that 3 to stretch that defense out.
Ole Miss rallied from a big deficit in Columbia.
Ball screen and roll, or you can set a screen on Morrell's man on the offside and roll to the basket. 2 different actions there, hoping for the same result.
Flanagan with shot clock winding down, makes the jumper.
He's going to get that shot all night, right? We know he can do that.
Cuts it to 14. Talon Cooper on the drop. Start the second half in a game that is critical to their postseason hopes.
There's no doubt. They're going to come back this half. I think with, I'm sure Coach Beard lit a fire underneath them, and that man right there is got a lot of work to do after having foul trouble in the first half.
Matthew Morrell played only 4 minutes in the first half. They get it to Musa Cisse for the dunk. Cisse's got 7 in the game.
Great action. They started the game out the exact same way, running that high middle pick and roll with the alley-oop to Musa Cisse.
Beg your pardon, he's now got 9 points in the game. Most of the basket on its opening possession. B.J. Mack looking to answer off the mark. The follow is there for Zachary Davis. He's now in double figures, 1 off his season high.
He has been a big difference in this game. We've seen him make a jump shot. He's attacked the offensive glass, and he started out in the first half posting up.
Morrell shoots an air ball. It's grabbed by Brakefield. You see the update from Joe Lunardi. He's now got Texas A&M as one of the first 4 out. Ole Miss moves down 1 spot to 4th of the first 4 out. Flanagan, crossover. Flanagan at the free throw line.
He knows how to get a few calls here and there.
That's a tough one for Zachary Davis. Ole Miss fans tried to come to life for the first time today. Their team trailing by 11. B.J. Mack working against Brakefield. Mack trying to muscle it up, and he does with 3 white jerseys around him.
That was some incredible patience to wait for that moment where just able to sneak it up there, and Cisse was there ready to block it, couldn't get a fingertip on it. B.J. Mack likes to do that, man. He's little Charles Barkley right there.
Flanagan working off the screen. South Carolina defended it well. Shot clock under 10. Morrell working against Johnson. Shot clock under 5. Tough fade away, and Morrell knocks it out.
Well, Ole Miss has 2 guys who can make tough shots. Off the dribble, and Al Flanagan and Matthew Morrell.
Cooper gets all the way to the rim, goes down, no whistle from the corner. Davis off the mark with the three, and Murray gets the offside rebound.
That was a nice job by Talon Cooper to get back and stop that basketball.
Flanagan going to try a three. Johnson with the rebound.
Good job by Brakefield not to lose B.J. Mack in that action.
Cooper finds some space just inside the free throw line, and he gets a friendly roll.
He's a tough guard. Tough cover at 6'4", patient. Just got his shoulder into Jalen Murray. Step back.
Taking a look to see if there's a flagrant under. Oh, I think that the word is that actually has been elevated not to a flagrant 1, but to a flagrant 2, and that Flanagan has been ejected from the game. From Zachary Davis at the free throw line for South Carolina, 11 points in the game. He and Musa Cisse have.
He understands the assignment. He's going to have to shoulder a lot of that offensive presence.
Officials perhaps a little more aware of that right now after what we saw in the Alabama-Florida game earlier this week. A call that was not made during the game but led to a suspension this week. Colin Murray Boyles has it blocked by Cisse. That's his 4th block of the game.
That was a scouting report block right there. Understood when Colin Murray Boyles was going to spin. That
big part of what they do on the defensive end. It's an Ole Miss team that has had its struggles.
And that takes a lot of pressure off your guards, man, when you know you get a couple of shot blockers back.
And those SEC struggles at the free throw line for Musa Cisse continue.
Yet Ole Miss, you know, the importance of Matt Morrell takes about 30% of their three-point shots. Been on fire recently, last 6 games.
Only 2 shot attempts today, none from 3. Davis travels.
$1,000 to get it right now in cash? How does that work?
I don't know how that works, but that's a pretty good day at the office.
Is it a check? Yes, it is.
College student with a little extra jingle now. South Carolina leading it by 14. Matthew Morrell 3, and he is fouled on the shot. Shooting percentage numbers are good. Over the last 6 games.
Thrown that full court press on them. 2 in the SEC.
Morrell makes 2 of 3 at the line. Lamont Paris was right in front of us. As Michi Johnson came off to him, he said, "You have no say. That shot either goes in or it doesn't go in. But don't foul it."
No. I mean, you just contest, put your hand up, and he's right. That's all you can do. You're not going to block the shot. I mean, the only one you see blocking jump shots is Musa Cisse.
Keep the possession alive. Cooper. Oh, contested baseline jumper with the shot clock winding down. Juwan Cooper at his 3rd school, Minnesota last year, after 3 seasons at Morehead State.
What you appreciate about him is he's a facilitator first, but then as all great
will come into the game.
Another good job breaking that press. Ole Miss is hoping to speed up South Carolina a little bit too, force their tempo. Ole Miss averages about 69 possessions a game. South Carolina's at 62. So offensive rebounds on the other end. Ole Miss started out first 9 minutes of the game, had 4 offensive rebounds, but only finished the half with 1 more offensive rebound.
Brakefield being guarded by Murray Boyles. He gets first play, 13 per game for James. Jacoby Wright, 3 is good from the wing, just in front of the South Carolina bench.
Now that was a quick shot. Not typical of South Carolina's offense, but Talon Cooper did a good job. You get some over help by Ole Miss in that corner, and you find a wide open 3.
Second time today that South Carolina has led by 16. Brakefield working against Cooper, rims out, tipped up and in by Cisse.
Good work. Good work on the offensive glass.
$11 points today for Moussa Cisse. That's one off a season high. Ugasa. Shoots an air ball.
Athleticism over Brendan Murray for that rebound.
Murray Boyles just 4 points today. He's averaging 19 over his last 5 ball games, including a 31-point game against Vanderbilt. Ole Miss turns it over in transition. Good steal there by Jacoby Wright.
Yeah, that was excellent vision. Stepped right in that passing lane, knew exactly where Ole Miss was going with that.
Tipped around, and Murray Boyles ends up with it, and he goes straight to the rack.
Good things happen when you stay around the rim. Look what I found, Murray Boyles. Probably the easiest two he's going to get all afternoon.
Brakefield has it tipped. Nearly a steal there for Murray Boyles. Gets into the lane, tries to dump it off. He does. Cisse, he's got 13 points, a new season high.
Yeah, and that's one thing Murray Boyles is going to learn. He reaches, puts himself out of position now, which allows the penetration in the lane, and the defense breaks down. That they're going to make a couple, and that's going to open up their offense.
Michi Johnson, shot clock winding down. He's guarded tightly by Cisse, and Brakefield gets the rebound.
Great defense. Brendan Murray coming over for the help to close down that driving lane.
Pass was off the mark a little bit, so no catch and shoot from the corner opportunity for Morrell. Brakefield going to try a three, and Ole Miss finally gets a three to go.
He can make that shot. You saw him get in rhythm, a little right with his right hand, a side step.
So an 11-point lead.
One of them was for a putback yoke. Outside of making shots, right? Yes, they're going to make shots. But how can they create extra possessions? Defensively, they've been good. Giving up 2 offensive rebounds doesn't help. They're going to take, if you're going to try and give it to them, they're going to take it.
So Matthew Morrell goes to the bench. Ole Miss has hit 5 of 7 shots since the Allen Flanagan ejection. Here's B.J. Mack working against Moussa Cisse. Gets the handoff to Michi Johnson. Looking to roll. They throw it inside. Mack ends up with the ball in his hand. May have had it partially blocked by Cisse. If they give him a block on that, that's 5 in the game. Then a lob, but a little too much.
Second alley-oop to him that's gone through his hands.
He catches this on the high inbound, muscles his way up. It was blocked by the rim, got it back, and then turns it over. Michi Johnson trying to lay it in, overshot it, but there to clean it up is Jacoby Wright. With a big swing there.
It really was. And if you're Ole Miss, I mean, you've got 2 point-blank shots right at the rim. That's just unfortunate at times.
Eugene Murray gets it off to Brakefield, headed toward the rim, and he draws a foul. Seen as a team today from the line. And rare to see Jamin Brakefield struggle. An 83% free throw shooter, makes 1 of 2. He's 3 of 6 from the line today.
See Brandon Murray now, good ball pressure. Brakefield comes over for the help, but you give him any space. I'm telling you, he's the key to their offense because he can make that three, and when he is, it opens up the paint for their drives.
Second three-pointer made for B.J. Mack today. He's got 39 now on the season. Brakefield with the lob, sharp, never caught it cleanly. Goes out to Caldwell. His three is an air ball. That's the easiest rebound that Zachary Davis will get all year.
No doubt. We've seen it now the 3rd time an alley-oop wasn't able to be converted by Ole Miss. Just couldn't put your hands on it.
Ole Miss had cut it to 11. South Carolina has pushed the lead back out to 15 as we close in on 9 minutes to play. Cooper, physical, kicks it out, same shot. This time Mack has it spin out, and a foul on Sharp. Matthew Morrell back into the game. He has been plagued by foul trouble today. Has played only 12 minutes. That's for the guy that leads the SEC at almost 35 minutes per game.
Brandon Murray is fighting B.J. Mack on that block.
Murray Boyles kicks it out. Shot clock under 5. Michi Johnson on the drive. Long. He saw the contact. He did not hear the whistle.
Yeah, we'll see it a lot now from a defensive standpoint. These guys practice every day, just go straight up, verticality. And you know the referee's doing a good job of letting them play through that.
Brandon Murray knocks out a 3. Murray from Germantown, Maryland, former Maryland Mr. Basketball, started his career LSU and then to Georgetown. He was on the all-freshman team back in 2022. B.J. Mack, he has proved people wrong all season long.
Good footwork, and he knows when he can feel you on his hip, right? He's as good as anybody. Spin right off you for a shot.
Juju Murray forced it up, almost looking for a foul as opposed to trying to make the shot. It's getting to the point of the game where Ole Miss cannot afford many empty to Paul. Colin Murray Boyles at the free throw. 8 points now for Colin Murray Boyles. Matthew Morrell on the floor playing with 4 fouls for Ole Miss.
And you see now that zone with Zachary Davis up top, man. It's tough to see over that length and get a shot off over that length.
Brandon Murray from the corner. Got the signal from the official where they will go back and take a look at that one.
Good ball movement, got it to the corner there. That's where you're going to have an opening for a 3.
Batted away by Caldwell. South Carolina runs it down in the backcourt with the shot clock under 10. Cooper puts his head down, trying to find some space. Gets a little bit, floats it up, and Murray runs it down for Ole Miss. Gets it to Caldwell.
Good cut.
Murray on the floater, and Gray pulls down the board.
Ole Miss has gotten them in there. They just have not been able to convert those in the paint.
The shot a moment ago from Brandon Murray was ruled a 3. They will go back and look at that during the next break.
That's tough. Murray Boyles is so strong. He's given time to back you in. That's a tough assignment from Matt Morrell.
6 straight games now for Colin Murray Boyles with double figures. He's sitting on 10 points to kick now.
Jacoby Wright, he didn't like it. Well, he wanted to be talking to Jacoby Wright, but he was talking to anybody who would be listening. Fortunately, we were listening. Coach, we're listening to you.
So Juju Murray goes 1 of 2 from the free throw line, and free throw shooting has been an issue today for an Ole Miss team. It shoots 78%. Murray comes up with a steal. And he lost. It is turned back to a 2.
3. We were right.
I'll give you credit on that one.
And the other thing, too, South Carolina, again, they take care of the basketball. They don't give it away. 9 turnovers right now. Ole Miss has tried hard traps. They've pressed.
Inside to Mack. Good seal and a good finish for B.J. Mack.
Yeah, and that was a great pass, too.
Ole Miss down 17.
Shot than any other game this year. I don't have the official statistics on that. Free throw line on a fouled 3-point shot.
Murray rattles the 3rd one around and gets it to fall. Excuse me, Morrell does. Cuts it to 14. Ole Miss was trailing by 17, which was the biggest lead.
They'll only get to the 20 seconds to get it past half court, which they've had a 10-second call this game already.
Not this time. Oh, my goodness. Colin Murray Boyles explodes up with the left hand.
I mean, did you see how high that basketball bounced after he dunked it? Wow. Now that's how you break the press.
Morel's three is short. Delon Cooper finds some space.
It's a great ball fake. There's a few guys in our league, Ezra Munyon and certainly Delon Cooper, get in that we see him shoot, but just all the other little things. We see him make some defensive mistakes, reaching in maybe when he shouldn't, and getting himself out of defensive position. But so athletic, he can recover.
From Columbia, South Carolina, played there through his junior year. In fact, he was the 4A Player of the Year in the state of South Carolina. Transferred, though, to Wasatch Academy in Utah for his senior season. Talked about maturity and playing high-level competition. I'd say it worked out well. B.J. Mack trying to get another one. He got another one.
So that's they do such a good job of sharing the basketball. Right now, 16 assists on 25 made buckets.
Austin Nunez in the game for Ole Miss. Here's Brakefield guarded by Murray Boyles. Matthew Morrell, three on the way, and it won't go. It's about matchups.
Sure.
Can you see them as a second weekend team?
Oh, there's no question. There's no question, because they do the little things, right? We just talked about the assist-to-turnover ratio for South Carolina. So they're not going to beat themselves. They're a good rebounding team. They spread the floor. They're a veteran team. They defend. So, you know, their game translates to different styles. If they have to play a little up-tempo, they can do that as well. But you mentioned the balanced scoring, so if you're preparing for them, you know, it could be any guy's night.
Ole Miss comes up with a steal. Brakefield leading the break, 3 on 2. He takes it right down the middle and lays it in. Jamin Brakefield in double figures today for Ole Miss. What about on the flip side? It's an Ole Miss team that has been bubble in for the last month and a half. They are now bubble out and going the wrong direction at the end of the season with just 4 games.
You couldn't make any shots. I mean, not only from the three-point line, but they just had a rough night shooting the basketball from the free throw line, from the paint even.
Almost 35% for the game, 18% from 3.
But Ole Miss, think about it, okay? You host Alabama, right? You take care of home. That's a great opportunity. However, listen,
I guess the point is
if you're, if you.
Ole Miss's season low field goal percentage for a game is 36.8. Today, shooting 35%.
You know, this isn't a bad loss at all.
Holding that left wrist. He's going to be helped off the floor and will go straight to the locker room. And that, yeah. Well, his right hand was the first to make contact with the floor. It's to choose from the remaining 4 players that were in the lineup at the time who shoots the free throws. And 2 points. Florida been playing really well in the second half of SEC play. Moved to 9-5 in the league with a win at home against Vanderbilt. I already told you just a few minutes ago, Kentucky up big at the half over Alabama at Rupp. And Auburn, Georgia coming up after us on the SEC Network. Texas A&M and Tennessee in Knoxville tonight on ESPN. And then we'll wrap up the day with Mississippi State and LSU on the You think?
Another great trap.
Cox once again will inbound, leading it by 14 with
at Missouri, at Georgia. I'll actually be at that Missouri game. 7:30 Central tip Saturday night.
Morrell short with the 3. Kept the
coaches coach that way
for game flow.
Exactly right.
Or he gets them both. Gets Ole Miss within 12.
Well, I'm going to say Ole Miss is not going to have troubles shooting like they had today for the rest of the season. Do you feel like if Ole Miss can get a turnover here, a quick shot?
Three on the way. Michi couldn't get it to go, and it's a rebound for Cisse.
Chance to get in single digits.
A minute to play. Juju Murray. And the rebound goes to South Carolina. If Ole Miss makes that shot,
they're not going to get it over the line. Ooh.
Long pass ahead to B.J. Mack. And now Jacoby Wright, or excuse me, Davis. Zachary Davis with the exclamation mark.
Career night for him. Played well. Made an
New
impact.
career high for Zachary Davis with 14 points. Morrell going to try a long three. That's the kind of day it's been.
Yeah, South Carolina's defense has made very few mistakes, and then you add 9 rebounds, 4 fouls, 14.
I guess he comes to the bench at the end of the game. That matches their season low. This is the worst shooting day of the season. Chris Beard's already at the half-court stripe. It has been for a few seconds, ready to shake Lamont Paris's hand. They're going to let the time run out as South Carolina